In 5, 4, 3, 2. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the show. I'm SM SithLord. This is the bi-weekly build stream in Somnium Web, right here on the streaming channels that you're watching on. Sometimes I'm building in the easy mode builder that's included in the Somnium Space PC client. Sometimes I'm building in the WebWorlds SDK, which is through Play Canvas in my web browser. Other times, I am in things like Blender or 3ds Max creating art. Now is one of those other times. I'm going to be creating from scratch a scene that's going to have fancy lighting in it that I'm going to bake onto the geometry and use it as a web world. That's the plan. I tried to do this yesterday off stream, and I wasn't happy with how it turned out, so I'm going to take another shot, starting fresh, and see what I can come up with. I want to leverage things that I can do quickly. This is a 2-hour build stream. I want to get this whole thing done in this 2 hours. So to get started, I need Gordon Pillman. Gordon Pillman is this little pill box here that I make the same height as Gordon, which is 1.88 meters. Ooh, wait a second, look at that. I'm in inches and feet. That's no good. Let's do this. Let's start it again. Customized. Unit setup. I want to be in meters, metric. That's right. More like it. Now I'll make everything the correct scale. And now I'm ready for Gordon Pillman. Okay, that's not the right shape though. That's more like our guy. We'll make him orange in honor of Gordon. So that's what a person, a little bit thicker, that's what a person looks like if they are hero size. So what's my world gonna look like? I have some ideas. I'm not completely idealist. I have many ideas. None of them came from AI this time. Or even concept art. This is just stuff that I was thinking in my head about shapes, and hopefully it all works out. So, this is what I was thinking. Hey, I could make a rectangle. This is me thinking to myself. I can make a long rectangle. Okay? It could be about that high. Then, I'm still thinking to myself here, I can make a bunch of circles and add them to it. Let me think about this. Yeah, I can make some circles. Like Swiss cheese all over the place of this thing of different sizes. Not too many. Pretty random. Not too close to the edges. I might have put a little too many here. Get rid of some of these. Let's keep it simple. Whoa. Okay, now let's keep going. Okay, now we got this weird shape here. Now let's start doing something with it. I am going to change this to an, or I'm going to add an editable spline modifier to it. And then I'm going to attach all my other splines all my circles. Attach multiple probably would have done this faster for me. I am not in the chat yet, by the way. I'll jump into the chat when I have a little downtime here in between clicking on things. Okay, so now I got everything into one editable spline. I want to go to my interpolation. Interesting. I do not see it in here. I have to collapse all to get it. There it is. All right, now I can adjust the amount of detail on my things here. They could be diamonds or they could be really detailed circles. I'm going to go with something in between. Let's go with that. I don't want this to be too crazy amount of polygons. So let's do that or that. Let's go with that. Okay, so cool shape. Now what? Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. Extrude? Sure. Okay. This isn't enough though. I need something more than this. I need a whole bunch of vertical geometry if I'm going to make this thing wavy. Okay, I could do this. It's a Unix system. I know this. Okay, a couple things. How deep do I want my thing to be? Think about yay deep. Is that too deep? No. Okay, I'm going to get a little bit crazy with my experiments here. So I'm going to make a copy of this thing over there in case I wreck this. And now we're going to collapse all of this, and we're going to get into this thing and do a slice plane, and I'm going to manually make all kinds of little slices in it. One of the poly, not mesh. Plane. Okay, let's do it over here. Let's cut this thing up. Let's cut it up a whole bunch. Not too much. There. And then we'll do the whole binary search thing. Binary search cuts everything in half. Every time into smaller and smaller halves. We'll do one more. Okay. Now what? Now we're going to apply a bend and make this thing do our bidding. There we go. Okay. We can do all kinds of stuff with this now. It's hugging us. Woo. All right. Oh no, my camera. I forgot that I need to keep my camera alive. Let me repair that real quick. Okay, that looks a little weird there. That doesn't look right. No, it doesn't. I wonder how that's going to look when I render it. Probably not the best, because that's an actual 3D thing, isn't it? Okay, maybe I shouldn't get too crazy with the bends. At least it'll get weird if I do. Let me see how it looks when I render it. Okay, let me fix my webcam here. One moment. Okay, sorting some technical difficulties out here. I think that we're good to go. I'll jump onto something on my other screen to prevent my camera from dying again, and then I can get back to trying to bake this. Okay, what does this look like when it's baked? I gotta set up a couple materials real quick. I'm gonna put GLTF materials onto this, even though I don't technically need to put GLTF materials if I'm gonna bake it afterwards. But I'll still use this, because GLTF is the future, right? So let me apply that to there, and apply it to there. And then let's get a light into there. We're gonna use the Arnold renderer for this light bake attempt. And this is supposed to be a point. And our radius should be pretty small. And let's turn on active shade to see how it would look. It's still too bright. The main thing I'm looking at is how noticeable the weird 3D divots are in this curved wall that I made. Let me adjust my lighting a little bit more here. Let's take it down to about here. Oh, that's not what I wanted. How's that look? And how about some backlighting? That is blue. I'm blue, I'm blue, I'm blue. And I have a big... Oh, yes! Come on, tell me this light bake is gonna work. Look at the light coming through the holes, casting the pretty shadows. Well, hopefully. Okay, now, can I export this light bake is the question. I'm going to do a miniature experiment here and see how well it turns out. First of all, let's save this thing. In case it does go well, we'll call this Fashion Web. We'll call it Fashion Web. I think I called the other one Web Fashion. Mixing it up here. And then, since it's saved, I'll just go ahead and make this test. Where it's added in and we're ready to try to bake it. good so far. Then we go to bake the texture, and we want the beauty map, and we want the rounded corners map is what we'll take. Our output folder. Web. And those. Padding 4. Our normals, I want to tell it to use object space, PNG 2048. We're good, let's try it out. The reason why I'm trying to bake the lighting out into the GLB that I'll put onto the parcel is because it's much more performant than real-time lighting, and it's better lighting quality. It can be better lighting quality depending on how well this bake turns out. Oh, the round corners are gonna look so good, I hope. It didn't take forever to render, that's nice. When I add a bunch more stuff, it will start taking a little bit longer. Okay, it baked out the texture, but now I have to go and save my UVs. Transfer them over. And make my actual GLTF texture, which is not just called white, it is called baked. I will call it Fashion Web Baked. Underscore. Baked. And it's going to use the material I just baked out. And the normal for it. Which is an interesting, cool normal, if it works out. Okay, this is gonna need. I gotta set up the PBR on here real quick. Normal is 1. This is up there. And then there it is. Then I export it. I mean, it looks the same it did a second ago, but it's baked now. And if I export it, export selected, we'll see over here. We have created a GLB. Whew. How does it look? It's only 3 megabytes, and it looks pretty good. The Gordon Pillman casted a shadow. Okay, that's okay. I can fix that. Other than that, it looks pretty good. Now there's some artifacts like I was afraid of along where the bends are. Can I do anything about that? I don't know. Those are non-planar surfaces. Okay, how about the resolution of the light bake? The resolution of the light bake isn't the best, unfortunately. I'm going to assess here. Okay, that just means that I should be baking these onto different textures if they really need it. This setup's pretty good, except for these weird triangle anomalies. Let's look at it in a better viewer. We're getting this into the Web Worlds SDK eventually. So let's go to the Play Canvas GLB viewer and see how it looks there. Which is kind of like the editor. I wish it was shinier. Okay, okay, it's got the normals. There's the shininess. Okay, cool. If I increase the light bake resolution on that piece alone, it wouldn't be enough. I need to get good at making that piece. I like the design of the piece back there with the light coming through. I just need to get rid of these anomalies on it. How could I get rid of those anomalies from the non-planar surfaces that are lining this thing? Ooh, that might be a challenge. Okay, let's open recent, undo all the bakes that we did. Okay, I have a thought. Let's try it out. We'll try it out on this one. I want to detach all of these. Here's attach. Detach. Okay, so let's try making this with the Pro Boolean instead and see if it behaves better. Sure. It's possible. So this would be an extrude. Like so. And then this would be its own extrude. Like so. But not an extrude. I need more geometry here to do this bend and get rid of those anomalies, because if I can get rid of the anomalies, it's gonna work, it might work out pretty well. So this goes like that. This. Yes. Okay. Okay. And then I'm going to try a couple things here then. Real quick. What if I turn it into a Boolean right now? And then bend it. Am I going to get those anomalies? Interesting. Okay, okay. Hey, there's still an anomaly there, but is there less anomalies? Maybe there's less. I don't know if less is gonna cut it. It just may. Why is it active shade? There we go. Jumping into the chats here. It's looking pretty good here. There's far fewer anomalies. I think this is good. Let's roll with this and make something happen. Block Muse, welcome. Thanks for hanging out. Don't need this one anymore. We have the beginnings of our thing. Now we need steps. We need steps. I need to be careful not to wreck these cool shadows that I have coming through the holes. Okay, I gotta be real careful with the lighting. But we're pretty good. We're pretty good. Do I need steps? Because if I put steps there, it's going to break the shadows. I kind of don't want steps. I want this all to be about really cool shadows getting casted on the ground here. Let's center up this plane and delete this other stuff over here that I didn't need. I'll just hide it. You, centered. And then all of you guys are going to be back here. You are going to be centered. And we'll rest you perfectly on that. And you, Gordon Pillman, will be our fashion model. Okay, now this is kind of like the stage. We need a room around this thing. Let me think here. What shape is this room going to be? I know. Let's keep it simple. Ugh, I'm gonna have to put a camera in here. Jeez. See. I think I'll have to put a camera. Okay, what I'm mostly paying attention to is this chamfered box that I just put around as the backdrop. Is it going to look good? It looks like no. It looks like the lighting along the edge is bad, but I might be able to fix that. Let's try to fix that right now by selecting it. Let's get to the other kind of views. I want all of the polygons selected. Put on the same smoothing. Will that help at all? It might not. That doesn't look right. Let's see here. How about against these other walls? How does it look? There, it looks really good. Oh, okay. Maybe it has to do with my lighting situation. The fuzziness is because it's rendering a high resolution thing in real time. Do not adjust your television. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just how the Arnold renderer works here, which is doing the light bake. So I just have to leave the mouse alone for a minute to see how the lighting is going to turn out here. And again, I'm looking at that crease where the floor meets the ceiling meets the wall. It looks good here. So I think one of my problems, I might have twofold. I need to turn down the shininess of this material that I'm using on the outside to make it more matte and not so shiny. And I need to, hopefully that fixes it. Otherwise, I might need to tone down the lighting that I have behind the stage here. Okay, let's try the material thing. Matte, matte, matte. Matte, matte, now. Matte, 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 matte. Okay, this thing's all the way rough. Okay. Did that help at all? Not really. It helps a little that I wonder if I really even assigned it. Okay. Oh, it's definitely my lighting situation. Human error. How could it be anything else? Okay, now I shouldn't have those weird anomalies even behind the stage. Perfect, okay. Okay, but also that means that this should be a spotlight probably. Otherwise it's going to be too bright. this is gonna look good. This is gonna work out way better than I was thinking. Nice. It's a little bit of a hot spot there. And this world will be all about the lighting, and it will run really good on mobile because it will all be baked. That's neat. That's nice. We ain't just going blue. We're going blue. We're going red. Are we going red? That's Somnium colors. Yellow in the middle. That's Somnium colors. Let's keep it real. I don't know how real I want to keep it because the colors, you know what, maybe I'll use, instead of rainbow in the background, I'll just split it up where like the foreground needs to be painted by white. I don't know. I'll tone down these colors and see if we could still keep it this real. We might have to keep it a little less real. Doesn't look bad. I don't know about the red. I don't know about the red. The red's killing it. We're going to go with the blue. We're going with the blue. I'm sorry, red guy. Oops. You're not the red guy. You are. And maybe I'll incorporate the red somewhere else. Okay, this light bake is going to look pretty cool, but I need some more details still. How am I doing on time here? I'm about 40 minutes into it. That's not so bad. Okay, what else do I need to do in this world? I need to keep the world pretty small because there's so much baked stuff in it. I don't want it to be too small. I probably should export it soon to see how it's going, but first, let's get something on that opposite wall. Okay, how's this gonna look? Let's save it. We're gonna do another test bake. Now, this test bake, or this bake, is gonna be a little bit different than the last one. Rendering. For the export, we'll still go to the same folder, but for the padding, I like taking it up to 4 in case I manually resize textures later. We're gonna unwrap here, unwrap. There's another thing I want to unwrap though. It's you. Render the texture. Let's give ourselves a nice padding of 4 and unwrap. Okay. And now, with both of those things selected, and my Gordon Pillman move out of the way. Rendering, bake to texture, those things. It's going to do it on both my objects. Awesome. Both of them are going to be 2048 in size. I think I'm going to roll with that. I don't want to go all the way to 4K, although now would be the time to go to 4K if I was going to ever go to 4K for the lighting of the whole surrounding thing. But not going to go to 4K. I'm going to do two 2048s. Our padding would be 4. Maybe for the final compile I will do 4K. We'll see. You're pushing it with mobile compatibility when you go up to 4K, though. It's a lot for a phone to handle. Yada yada yada. Export. Fashion web. Export. Okay. Give us some glorious lighting. So I have a full-on matte texture for the environment, which means no reflections. It should be very soft, blurred shadows. Oh, I see. I left my yellow light in there. Let's see how that turns out. Dropping a red light in there would be cool. We have the Somnium colors. And then on the actual other round piece, I have a material on it that's highly reflective. I could have baked them both to the same texture atlas, but I did not because I wanted more texture resolution in each. And if they would have shared an atlas, they would have been lower resolution. That's the only reason. It doesn't matter that they had different material properties. They could have still been baked onto the same texture, but it would have been lower resolution. And it's going to render out one more texture atlas after this one. Oh wait, no, it's going to render out 4 more. I can't do so many test renders. I'll have to lower the resolution test renders because this would eat a lot of time. But here are the beautiful normals that go along with that other thing that we just saw. And the normals are what give it this, see how this is a bad bake. This was the first test bake. See how the normals give it that, the environment, that blue kind of reflecting off of it, that's the normals that lets it do that. And the normals that I'm baking out are actually rounded normals, so they make everything look real round when it works out well. This next bake that comes out, we're looking to have less fuzz on the bake here. So better resolution bake, and also be a whole environment and have less anomalies. A whole environment meaning there's a room around us, and have less anomalies with these triangles there and there. And if this works out, if this bake works out, and I think that it will, then it's like a green light. Okay, this is working, and I'll add some more details to this world. I'll have to think about what to add. Maybe some Boolean operations to have a sunken floor or something. Might be neat. Or adding some decor around the room, like pillars and stuff like that. I'm not wearing my mask. I'm not a character today. There we go. This is my favorite mask. The app that I use that I use for the AR filter on my face, Snap Camera, it's going away. I'm gonna have to find a new app, a new VTuber app. Okay, cool normal map, bro. That's all right. And if I put more shapes setting against it, it might be really cool. Because I'm looking at the floor map. That's really the only part of this normal map that's very useful. Everything else is flat. But where that stage hits that floor, it gave it a nice little curve to it. which is nice. Ooh, is that an anomaly I see? That's an anomaly I see. But maybe it's okay. Maybe we can just ignore the anomaly for now. Ooh, that's the back. Anyways, maybe it's fine that there are anomalies in the back. We're trying to avoid anomalies in the front. Okay, this is definitely going to be the only 2K test render that I render out all the way because it takes so long. But it's good to do this so I can get an idea of the texture resolution that I'm going to have to work with, because this amount of texture resolution for the shadow map and the bake, it's not enough. I need more than that. I need more than that. So this 2K bake and breaking it up into 2 parts, I got a good feeling about this. And the normal map. Can't forget the normal map. This is interesting. It's taking a long time to bake, so I have to wait for it to bake. And if this was a cooking show, I would have already baked this pie, and it would be like another version of it sit in the oven. And I would just say, now bake it in the oven for 20 minutes, or however long it takes to render this bake. But I would just go and I would pull out the already baked one from the oven and keep going. But alas, we are not a cooking show. I need to strive to be like a cooking show after this bake right here. See the progress on the top left. 3 out of 4 bakes are complete. It's interesting how it goes around in little clockwise circles instead of scan lines. Okay, cool. Let's apply this bake and see if it was worth all that. So, my first step is to go over here and save my UVs. There, and then do this. Abandon, load, UVs. And do the same thing for this one. Save UVs, yes. Here, abandon, load, UVs. Cool. And then we make the baked materials. Fashion Web 01 baked, and Fashion 02 baked, because now we have 2 textures. Almost there. Here's our bakes. And for this one, Okay, let's try out the new GLB. Well, that one's probably a little bit too shiny on the export. Let's fix that. Better. Okay, I got to get this into the play canvas, the Web Worlds SDK, and see how it looks. It's pretty good, but I'm a little worried about the light bake over there in that corner. That's probably the normals that are doing that. What if I turn off the normals on this one? I wonder. Kind of fixes it. But I like the normals. Yeah, let's get it into the web world and see how it looks. Here's the world I was testing it on earlier. Oh, this is the one that didn't work out so well. I don't know, maybe portions of it could work out. But most of this I'm going to delete or hide. Yeah. Okay, now let's try the new one. Maybe I'll use some stuff from that attempt. Those buildings were pretty cool. There's GLB support in the editor now, so you can drag and drop a GLB. It's going to treat it just like it would any other art asset, so it keeps the original GLB you uploaded as the source, and then it compiles it to its own flavor of GLB and extracts all the materials and rigs them all up for you. So it's nice. It supports GLB the same way it supports FBX now. The more amazing thing is loading a GLB during runtime. That is some meta stuff there, but supporting multiple formats in the editor, that's great too. Fashion Web. Let me drop this over here. Ooh, and there's no lighting happening there. There's no lighting happening. That looks better than it did in the viewer. What? This looks much better than it did in the viewer. Oh, wow. And there's, wow. Is it working? I think it's working. Okay, I gotta see what this looks like. Let's hide this thing. Let's hide all this stuff. Where's my floor? That's the only thing I can't hide. Cool. Be awesome. Come on, look as good as you did in the editor. Oops, the spawn point. Spawn point. Over here, please. Right there. Right next to the center would be nice. Oh, dude, this is gonna work. The anomaly is still there, but the lighting is pretty spectacular for not being real-time at all. There is a real-time lighting impacting my character walking around, but the lighting in the environment is not impacted. It's not real-time. It's what I baked out. This is going to work. And I'm almost done. I don't want to get too complicated with this thing, but this is just good news. Now I can think about how to finish this off, not whether the bake is going to work or not. Okay, now how crazy can we get with it and it still look good? Let's see here. This thing, does this thing have its normals on it? It does, but it doesn't seem to be reflecting the environment map very much. We could fix that though by turning up that. Now it's using the normals. Let's try doing that over here as well. Cool stuff right there. Just playing around with the glossiness and stuff here to see the kind of effects I can get. I think flat looks the best, and that actually means no normals, I think. So that means more optimal. If I get rid of the normal, there's no change. So, no normal is required. That saves time on baking also. Okay, now, this is good news. I'm happy. Don't know how I'm going to fix those anomalies right there and right there. Let me make sure that I can turn off all of the lighting. I do have a directional light happening right there. But now that's turned off too. Cool. If you do two directional lights facing opposite directions, Gives you a nice silhouette around the backs of things. There we go. All right, now how can we make this even cooler before I go back into 3ds Max to do more 3D modeling stuff? What else can we do here? Nope. Web browser object. I will want the web browser object in here. We will want some benches in here. I might have a bench that I can use in here. Let's try it out. I have a bench. It's a Unix system. I know this. I made this bench the other day. Generic decor. Is that it? No, I don't think that was it. This is it. It looks pretty good. It might fit right in, actually. I think it's going to be huge. I'll have to scale it down. Well, it's not that huge. And this is already baked. Now, if I position this, it would cast shadows if I positioned this inside of 3ds Max instead of it just inside the editor here. So I should probably do that. It is a pretty nice bench, though. We need some neon. With bloom, this is going to look good, but I'm worried about these dark corners. I wonder if I could Photoshop those out of the bake. I probably can. That will be the fix. I'll Photoshop those out because it's the shadow casting that's a problem there. I'll Photoshop those out in the last step. Okay. So yeah, I'll add these benches in. Maybe something with an entrance, and I wanted some neons. Let's see here. Maybe I could tie the neons into how this looks over here with the blue. get those benches in there. Import. Merge. All I want is the bench. Okay. Hey. Against that wall is where I'll put the web browser object. Okay, so all that looks good. What do I think of the floor? I think the floor mostly looks good. I think the size mostly looks good. I'm thinking of an event with like 12 people. And 12 people in this room, it's going to be a nice filled up event. Have more light. Oh, how about a spotlight on these benches? Oh. Oh. These benches need light on them. So because I'm baking the lights, there's no limit on how many lights I can use. So let's get some nice light over the other bench as well. Cool. Okay. That might do it for my light adjustments up there. I got the benches in and some stuff against that wall. Let's see where I'm at. What's going on here? I got some stuff against that wall. It will be the screen against the wall over here. I think I'm pretty good to do the big fat compile, or the big fat bake. It's going to be a lot brighter in here after I do this bake. Is that going to be okay? I think so. I hope so. Maybe it's going to be too bright. Maybe not. How about the middle of the room? Is there going to be any light in the middle of the room? I'm gonna fix the FOV on this camera. There we go. I think we'll be all right. Special effects that I'm going to add to this. I'm not even thinking going hard on the special effects. It's really fun to do stuff with animation and scrolling textures and things like that, but nothing's coming to mind here. So I'm just going to bake this out and make it happen. So I'm going to bake it out at low resolution. I'm going to rig everything up and bake it out low resolution as like a test thing, and I'm going to do the actual high quality bake off stream because this is not a cooking show. So let me save this, make a backup copy, and get ready to do this bake. How am I doing on time here? I got about 30 minutes to do this. This should work out. All right, let's start baking. How about 2048, 2048, 1024, 1024, 1024s? We go with that. I'm going to be using a little bit of texture memory here. But that's what it's all about. Not doing it in runtime. So we saved it already, and now we're going to... Can I just multi-select all this stuff? There it all is. I'm going to leave it on padding 2. We're going to go into channel 2 and let's unwrap only. I'm confident it put those onto different UV sheets. I hope. Yeah. Ugh. Can't I do better than this? I wonder what happens if I do better than this. Can it handle my non-computer logic? How can I do better than this? We'll see how that works out. I can't do much here. Wish it didn't put the seams where it decided to put the seams, but what are you going to do? Okay, assuming that's all going to work out, the next step is for me to actually bake things out, right? Yeah, so I would multi-select everything. And then I do not need the rounded corners, I only need the beauty map. This is going to be a test one, so I'm going to take everything down to 512. Is this going to be a test one? I don't think that this is going to be a test one. So I'm about to compile this. I'm about to bake all this thing at pretty hardcore resolutions, and it's going to take a lot of time. I should not do that on stream. So on stream, let's wrap up this with the stream today. Not with me pressing bake and looking at the screen for a long time, but let's get this web browser object positioned using the Web Worlds SDK. I hid it, so I'll just unhide it. Web browser object. I'll hide that sample scene. Here it is. I want to put it on this opposite wall. You know what might be neat? If I know I'm going to put the web browser object here, what if I put something here in 3ds Max so that it casted a shadow on the wall right here? Didn't really look like the web browser is in there. Let's do that. It's a Unix system. I know this. I just have to go over here and draw a box. I can do that. Yay big. Oh no, let's make it 16 by 9. That's not 16 by 9. There we go. All right, now this will cast a shadow on the wall behind it, and when I put the web browser object in front of it, it will be amazing. Amazing. Let's test it out, though. With a quick active shade render. That's what it's going to look like, huh? I guess. Let's go with that. Cool. And I don't need the actual shape to be in there because I don't want it to eat up texture memory. So I just need it there to do the bake, and then I'm not going to export that object. Awesome. All right. I'll say this. So this is where this is going to be. And it's going to have that really cool little surrounding afterwards, like it's casting shadow on everything with the baked materials. Okay, let's clean out this project a little bit. Wait a second. Did I want to use these cool looking buildings anywhere? No, I don't think that I did. Maybe another time. So that means that webfashion.glb is gone and fashion web is here to stay. All right. That. Oh, what did I just do? Building test, delete. Okay. Generic bench. We're going to delete you too, generic bench. Don't take it personally. The sky. I don't need the sky, right? I think that's right. I won't delete it just yet, though. I might as well delete it just yet. Yeah, sure. First, let's remove it from here. Okay, and then okay, we're pretty purged out here. Looking good. I'll delete these lights that I don't need. This is the only object that I need over here. Alright, and I want to export a collider for this thing from 3ds Max also. So, how are we looking in the world here? I think we're looking pretty good. I will have to fix those weird shadows things in, I'll call it post in Photoshop. But once they're fixed, we have an amazingly performant, moderately fast loading, because I'm going to use pretty high resolution textures, 2K on 2 of them, 24s on the other ones. And it will be highly performant on mobile. Cool. The spawn point. The spawn point I want to be right here in the middle. Now, I didn't need to do the solid white textures in order to do the light bake. That's just the look that I was going for here, because it's kind of a nice look for a fashion world. It's kind of abstract. So, see how that goes. And I'm gonna GG on the stream here, and I'm going to be baking for the next several minutes. I'm gonna set everything up for the bake, and then I'm gonna GG on the stream and then click bake. But this is where it's going. The next iteration of this. And I'll probably keep these 2 directional lights. They only impact things that are dynamic, and these things will be like this, because they don't need any of those lighting things. And I'm even going to go into the material, and I'm going to tell it, yeah, you don't even use lighting. Don't even use lighting. And you don't even use lighting. And don't cast shadows, or light map shadows, or receive shadows, or do anything at all. And you're just static. Now, that stuff's super optimized. I'm gonna have to do that again with all the other stuff after I do the new bake, I believe, because I'm gonna have some new objects. It's gonna be pretty good, man. It's gonna be pretty good. It's gonna be so performant you could use it in mobile VR, although you can't use the iframe that's gonna be on the wall in mobile VR. But besides that, okay, that's going to stay there and not get baked. Everything else I need to set up the bake over here in bake to texture. Those are the names. Should I just keep those names? No, I'll give them real names. This guy's going to be called Bench Right. I'll just call it Bench 01. This guy over here, let's give you a name. Bench 02. Back here, we'll give you a name, Decor 02, Decor 01. Here, you can be called Shell, and you can be called, oops, Backdrop. Okay. Now how's our baked texture looking? Ooh, yeah. Now, for the backdrop, we want image size to be 2K, not 4K. It's tempting, but no. Decor, that's the ball. We want that one to be 1024, I think, for all these. The shell's another one there, and then bench is there, and this one is there. Okay, these are some high resolution textures. We'll see how well this turns out. Maybe I'll have to do another bake with lower resolution textures for everything. Probably, I would take the decor down to 512 and the benches down to 512. I would really want to leave the other ones on 2048. All right, I'm almost ready to click that wonderful, glorious compile button and make a fresh coffee while it does its thing. And I will be letting you let me go when that time comes. People watching on the stream, thank you for joining me, by the way. Again, sorry for the technical difficulties this morning. That was my bad. I jumped the gun, and the stream, I was not ready to start streaming, but I will be sure to do better next time. Fashion Web is where I'm going to export to, and this will be glorious. Okay, I hope everybody enjoyed that the kind of experimentation. We're using the Arnold renderer here in 3ds Max to make a hyper-optimized world, other than pretty big text resolution. That is going to be on this web parcel. We're going to do a fashion show event here. So the fashion show event's going to be pretty cool. What's my GPU? What is my GPU? It's alright. I'd have to look it up. So next time, I will have the stats on what my GPU is. Wait, CPU, GPU. Oh, my GPU, it is, I don't know that either. Here's what I know about my GPU. It's the one that they did the deep fake with Luke Skywalker, the community-made deep fake where they said they thought they could do it better than ILM. They had like 3 of them, but it was the one. It's a 24 megabyte memory or gigabyte memory VRAM. It's that one. And it's a TI, a 3080 Ti, because the 3090s were not out yet when I got it. That's what I got. I got a 3080 Ti, 24 gigabyte. It's all right. But it's not going to do this too quick. I know that because the one that I just did. You know, last time I was doing the normal maps too, so this is really, it's not going to be that much bigger of a bake because I'm not doing normal maps, but it's still going to take a little bit. So, and that matters a lot, right? Because I'm talking about rendering times here. There's like cloud rendering and server and computer farm rendering in this program, but I'm not on that level with my rendering techniques. Usually I don't have to render very much because I work with real-time environments. They're real-time rendered. But this one, since I'm hyper-optimizing the web, a little bit different. Okay, so kind of just killing time here at the end because I am going to be ending the stream a little bit early before I click this bake button. Once again, thank you everybody for tuning in. And I'll be tweeting this out, the results of this out when it's done. It might be a little while because after the bake is done, I got a few more steps before I get it into the world. And it should be joinable. I should be tweeting out a joinable link after all this. Now, I need to make a collision mesh. I will do that before I click bake, because that is... I do not need to make a collision mesh. Yeah, you know why? Because it'll be easier if I just make the collisions out of colliders here. See, there's the floor. I don't even need a ceiling, but for the walls, I'll do something like this. You can't walk up a 45-degree slope, right? Well, let's make it more than 45 just in case. 65. It's the left-hand wall. The colliders, indeed. this round shape of that could probably do with the collision mesh. Maybe I'll do that in 3ds Max. Oh, uh-oh, I'm walking up that 65-degree slope. I'm impressed. Let's see if these guys can do 75. I could do 75. I'm probably going to have to go all the way up to 90 to stop this guy from walking up my wall. Ah! I pushed myself out of the bounds. Okay, now I could do a collision mesh and export it. Primitive colliders are more performant in most cases, and they're easier to do, and they're easier to adjust. So I'm just going to do these primitive colliders. One over here. And of course, one over here. For that thing, I'm going to go ahead and make it an actual collider. And for the benches, I'm going to use primitive colliders, but I can't make those until I import the benches, because then I'll know where to put the colliders. But this, I'm going to do in 3ds Max right now. Wonderful. Go and switch this to the perspective, and then we're going to have to unhide some stuff. That'll do, I think. Yeah. You! Ooh, no, not you. It's not going to do. It's going to have to do. Alright, fine. No, it's not going to do. I'm going to have to make this shape again. Alright. It's okay. It's a Unix system. I know this. It's probably better this way anyways, because then it could be lower resolution. Ooh, okay. And then you're not so tall, are you? You're not so thick, are you? And you do not have so many segments, do you? You are the optimized collision mesh. And now, I will bend you. I will bend you. Like so. Alright. But I gotta position you better. It's gonna be the least painful collision mesh thing ever made. Least painful. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Ain't the best. There! Alright. I could probably take it down to be even fewer segments. There's my collider. Backdrop coal is what I'll call that. And when I export it, it's not going to be included in the bake, but I am going to include it in the export, unlike this thing over here, which I'm not going to include anywhere. But I'm going to use the mesh differently. But it'll be included in the export, so it's still just one call to get the GLB. All right, I got it all figured out, man. I'm the man with the pre-lit primitive textured shapes plan today. And hopefully it all works out, and we'll see. I'm going to click that bake button, follow through, finish the thing up as I upload it and get it onto the web world. And we'll be tweeting out, hopefully, the most beautiful screenshot you've ever seen in your life today. You know, that you've seen today, not in your whole life. All right. I'll see you then. And I'll also see you guys next week on Monday morning, right here on the Twitch stream, to do another build session. Peace out. Ow. No. I had to come back. You gotta be here when I click the bake button. You gotta be here when I click the bake button. You've come this far. Let me click save first. Okay. Bake! Overwrite. Yes, that's fine. Why are the file names so weird? Backdrop. Beauty. Capital B. Okay. Decor 01. Decor 02. Shell. Bench 02. Bench 01. Okay, here it goes. I already unwrapped everything. Yeah, I multi-selected everything and I clicked unwrap. Did I do that? Let me check. Automatic flatten UVs. Yes. Yeah, I'm ready to click this button. I had my doubts. Oh yeah, I almost blew it. Almost blew it. This guy needs to go away. That was a close one. And my collider, it needs to be hidden for now, and I unhide it later. Okay, now everything in the scene is getting baked. No weird shadows that shouldn't be there except for the one weird shadow that I'm doing it all on purpose for. I'm clicking the button now. It's exciting. All right, there it is. And the crowd goes crazy. All right, y'all, I'll see you next time. Peace.